Hello again and welcome back to Wingot Plays Nomifactory. Having now automated the production of quantum flux, I think the next step we want to do, what was that up there? Draconium. Yeah, Draconium's still just processing away in the background. But yes, having now automated quantum flux, I think the next step we want to do is actually get our crystal circuits up and running. We've got the multi-layer reinforced epoxy substrate, we've already got the crystal processor units, so all we need to do is actually teach the system how to make these circuits, or at least that appears to be all we need to do. So, step one, let's take a look here. So, soldering alloy, nano CPUs, crystal CPUs, multi-layer fiber reinforced, fine niobium titanium wire, SMD transistors and resistors. Now that may be something we haven't yet taught the system to make, but let's take a look. Qubit CPUs we have taught the system to make. So the processor looks like it shouldn't be any real difficulty, and then the processor array and mainframe are both made in the assembly line, and I note that this mainframe does actually require, oh no, that's 10, we've got space for 10, or I think we've got space for 10, but this recipe can't do 10, so we'll come back to that. Now, let's have a look here. Niobium titanium. Let's see. We are making niobium titanium ingots. We've automated titanium niobium to make that in a tungsten steel easy. But then we just need a wire mill set up to make the niobium titanium. Don't have an IV there. Let's take a quick look here. You are used, it appears, only for making these circuits. So what I might do then is I might actually just set that process up to be a on-demand recipe in our wire mill array. Wire mills, perfect. So that one's already full, so we can put it there. Wire mill recipe, perfect. And then these two assembler recipes get to go over here into crystal processor and circuit. Perfect. So now we should be able to tell the system to make crystal circuits go. The wire mill has to run first. It's probably already finished. There you go. The process assembling machines were running. There we go. Crystal circuits. Perfect. Now let's also get the system to make some crystal processors while we're at it. And there we go. Fourth and final tier 5 circuits. Perfect. And it's already running to make our, yeah, cool. So now it's making the processors. Or it might be making some more circuits. But there we go, crystal processors, done. Awesome. Now, I'm just going to actually change the lighting a little bit. I feel like it's gotten rather dark with my new monitor and graphics card. So, I might play with that again later. But at least now it's not. Yeah, at least now I can see what's going on instead of it all just being fairly dark. So let's go and take a look at the processing array. Quantum I, multi-layer, HPIC, I believe we've not taught it to make that. We've not taught it to make draconium plates. Enderium wire, I think it knows how to make. So all of that actually seems simple enough. So we should be able to just go pop that into our processing array, our assembly line, and it mostly, I think, should work. Good. Now, I am just going to have a quick look here. So we've got one, let me just check. Yep, input bus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then that's got the circuit in it. Okay, I don't think we're going to be able to use this setup because it's already got a couple of input buses that are always used. But we'll come back to that in a minute. Now, let's take a look here. If we go crystal, told to make a processor array, it's going to fail on, yes, the 2 bits that I thought it would. We don't need endearum, we need draconium plates, which is easy enough. Let's put that there, and then we'll look at the HPIC. So the HPIC is made with a cutting saw. So we'll get one of those being crafted. Meanwhile, this is easily made in a compressor. Good. Now, if we take a look at our arrays here, compressor array. Perfect. Let me just check that needs to be IV tier. And I think this is only EV tier. Yeah. I think it's cheap enough. Quantum processors. Okay. And then what would... I'm going to have to redo the wiring. Actually, that's already IV. Okay. I think I can just swap out the compressors. And that should just work. But it's gotten stuck on neodymium rod, the magnetic. I really don't know what's going on with the magnetic rods, but I will replace that system fairly soon, I think. In the meantime, we now have, so that should be capable of making draconium plates. Let's make 10, go. It's made 4. There you go. Perfect. So that will have slowed down. Slowed down the running just because we've got less machines in there, but increasing the tier. I think LUV, I think I'll aim to replace all of them with LUV, but we want to get the better circuits up and running in order to make all the LUV stuff cheaper. Maybe I'll push to ZBM, but LUV for everything except assembly machines is probably what I will aim for. Meanwhile, we've got our cutting machine here. So if we pop over here, we can put our cutting machine, let me just check, HPIC needs high power IC wafer. We need to make that first in a chemical reactor. We are making power ICs, so we just need high power. So we need another chemical reactor, which here can be IV tier, go. And it seems to normally screw up with a single, but I've checked that recipe so many times. Okay, so chemical reactor and cutting machine, perfect. Now this chemical reactor, we're going to need filters and probably going to need fluid conduits. Yes, going to need fluid conduits. Move those out of the way. Good. So fluid conduits go along there. Perfect. Now, to make the HPIC, we need HPIC wafer, which needs red alloy, which we might not be making. Red alloy there. Insert. Now, fluid is all the way down here. I doubt we're making red alloy fluid. So let me go set up an automation for that. We need a fluid extractor, and we're already making the red alloy ingots easy. So fluid extractor, this is, that whole line is EV tier, isn't it? Yep. Oops. Go there. I need an item conduit now. You can go there. And that just needs to be set to accept red alloy ingots and extract on black. Good. Now, lastly, you red alloy ingots. Good. So that should be making red alloy, and we need a tank to dump it into. I might as well use a quantum tank. Actually, let's just use a normal tank, just because it's only used for that one recipe. Okay, you fluid input. Oh. Fluid input limitation there for red alloy. Good. Insert on black. And you get to extract on black. Good. And finally, we need to connect it to the system. Done. So we've now got red alloy being made in our system. I did realize as well that the pulsating over here, this pulsating ion should be over there in the fluids side, but it'll be fine. Now, limited ion filter, we want a power IC. So we want the power IC wafer going into there. Good, we've got one. We need indium gallium, which I think is on the line behind us. Oops. Yeah. So this here. Good. Perfect. That looks like it's running. That's going to make 1, and then that is going to make 2. So this here, we need to feed it with lubricant. Perfect. Insert. And then here we want the power IC high power IC wafer. Good, so it's getting lubricant. That is making those, and we want a draw downgrade so that that can have those. Good, and then those will be available to the system, and we can go there. And they'll wind up in here, and then those can go up to there. At which point, we now have high power integrated circuits available to our applied energistic system. Perfect. So we should now be able to, I think, make the crystal processor array. Yep, it has everything it needs, so let's make 10 of those. It's just short on some HPICs. Fair enough. Because that is a reasonably slow process, but it is automated in the background, so we can mostly ignore it. Meanwhile, yes, that draw is already up to 1500. Even in the 10 minutes or so that 15 minutes that we've been doing this episode, it's gone from, what was it, 900 to 1900. Yeah, quantum flux is being made pretty nicely now. And I did send a job to get us more iridium, so that's processing away in the background as well. It's just our processing line is still EV tier, and it's still this system here. And it does look like it has managed to process all of the iridium. In fact, it looks like it's finished processing everything. This is just the last of those ores. So that should be should be good. Let me just quickly take a look down this end of it. Tannerite. Oh, something's getting clogged. Palladium, marble. Okay, marble's new. He doesn't know anything about marble. So that can go over here. Palladium, I thought it had. But everything's got void upgrades. So maybe it doesn't have palladium anywhere. Yep. Good. Tannerite, that's definitely new. That can go there. Iron dust. Actually, iron dust I think is completely new. So let's put it over here next to our lead and nickel and zinc. Bastnasite I think is new. And then, good, that managed to clear everything. Now in the meantime, we should have about 16, 20, there you go. So, apparently I can't spell. So, crystal processing, make 10 of those, go. I think our assembly machines are working. Yeah, okay, good. And then the last step is we're going to have to figure out what we have to... So, HPICs are done. Crystal circuit, crystal processor, processing array will be done very soon. In fact, I think it's already crafting one of them. And then our last step is going to be making the crystal processor mainframe. Now, the simplest way to do that one will be to go over here and use our extended pattern processing terminal. No, there. Pop it into there. Prescient crystal. System knows how to make those. Yep, fine. HSSE, I don't think we've taught the system how to make, but everything else here I think should be fine. The problem is we need a new assembly line in order to run it. What's wrong with our assembly line? Or is it just a really slow recipe? No, it's 15 seconds. LUV. What is this assembly line set up as? Needs more energy. Signalum. So we've got... Actually... It is ZPM level. CEF doesn't have power. Oh, I see. So... energy conduit, because I think that line is directly coming off. Ooh. Huh. Yeah, looks like I didn't replace all of this line when I went around and did the infrastructure upgrade. I think because I didn't think there was anything down here. Good. Hopefully that should get it up and running again. Good. CF's got power. Now I don't think we actually need to run power down to there, but. Good, assembly line is now running, and perfect, we're getting crystal processor arrays. Great. Perfect. Now, I'm going to have to make a assembly line, which I think I'll just do between episodes. But for now, what I think we could do is I think we could actually make the system on a chip, which will allow us to replace a lot of our old circuit recipes with better recipes that don't need all of the diodes and everything, and also produce more circuits. Now that we've got Naquita, it's very easy to actually do this system on a chip portion. So let's go quickly set that one up. What we need is we need a laser engraver and a cutting saw. So we did teach the system to make a cutting saw, perfect, and a laser engraver it knows how to make as well, perfect. And then the last step is we're actually going to need a new lens. We're going to need the Nether Star lens, which is a Nether Star in an autoclave. So that's simple enough. Make 10 of those go. Good, give me one of those, and give me a water autoclave. Perfect. You go there. Good. So step one is we need the laser engraver, which is still being made because it broke there. I'm really curious what's happening with those magnetic rods. Perfect. So now this needs Naquita doped wafer. Easy. Oh, apparently I've put away all my filters. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think we'll need limited, but Naquita doped wafer. Good. That looks like it's already running. SoC wafers. Now, these are only used to make SoCs, and it's a fairly good conversion rate. So, let's pop that there, perfect. And now, I think this one's full. It is, so we need a new interface. Can go there. This one gets the SoC wafers. Good. And then we just need the cutting saw at the front here. Good. Which can import SoC wafers and extract. You need to be set to extract on brown. Perfect. And then we just need the lubricant. So we need some fluid conduit. What is that? Endearum NG. Good. And then you need lubricant. Good. And the system on our chips gets to go up to there. Perfect. SoC wafer, done. And then that's going to allow us to refined micro and nano circuits. Perfect. So if we go here and look up circuit, electronic refined. So third and final tier 1 circuit. So perfect. Refined micro and I don't even see the nano circuit. Ah, there. Can all be replaced with this updated SoC. So let's quickly pop over. to, our assembly machines back here. So, refined, micro, nano. All three of those get to be replaced with the SoC versions, which, instead of requiring all of these components and making 4, will instead only require the SoC fine tin alloy and plastic circuit boards. We're already doing fine tin alloy, we're already doing plastic circuit boards automatically, so it's just the SoC that's changed there, and now it makes 8. Perfect. And then we can do the same for these others as well. Perfect. And I'm aware I could use the interface terminal, but I tend to find a lot of the time it's just easier for me to go through this way. Now, the quantum processor and quantum processor arrays can be replaced now that we've got the crystal circuit and crystal processor. So we don't need that, we don't need that, because they will both be replaced with these, the circuit and the processor. So, time, I think, to go through and look at all of the various processors, all of the various recipes that use processors in them. So that one uses a quantum processor. Well, actually, we don't even need these anymore. We shouldn't need the nano processor line at all at this point. And then yes, we go through all of these nano quantum processor, nano processor mainframe. Interesting. This particular one, why is it such an ugly recipe? So, a tier 4 circuit, which can be a quantum circuit. Quantum circuit, fine. Crystal circuit. So, quantum circuit, crystal circuit. Quantum circuit, I want you to make 10 of those. Go. And then that's, I think, this one. Yep. And then crystal circuits, we need 6 of those to go there. Perfect. And then that can encode onto there. Oh, it is an assembly line. Let's make sure it's right. 6 quantum circuits and 2 crystal circuits. Okay. So, 2 crystal circuits and 6 quantum circuits. Perfect. And then what's that? Nano processor mainframe. Crystal processor. Perfect. And let's just check that was 2 of those. Yep. Okay, that can go there. Good. So that recipe is now a lot cheaper, and it needs to be made in our assembly line. There. Good. I don't think any of these others. Oh, that uses crystal. Oh, no, that makes sense. So crystal processor arrays take crystal processors, fine. And it looks like none of the rest of these use quantum processor array. So we could drop that one down to a crystal processor. No, we can't because it's the quantum. But we can get rid of that quantum processor mainframe. Actually, we can get rid of the quantum processor mainframe because we've got the crystal processor array. So if we go here, we can grab that one out. And then processor array, processor mainframe are being replaced with the crystal line. And then it'll just be the crystal processor mainframe is the only mainframe we've got left. Perfect. So now what we need to do is we just need to go through all of the recipes that we have here and look for anything that uses nanoprocessors. Looks like there's nothing left that uses nanoprocessors. And quantum processor is unfortunately 2 words. And so that's not really going to work. Okay, what I'll do is I'll look for anything that has the word quantum in the name and then just manually have to go through and rework all of them. It'll be annoying, it'll be tedious, but thankfully you don't have to deal with it because I'll do it off camera. Thank you for watching, stay happy and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next episode.